Okay guys, so we are moving straight to our correct body measurement. You can see our figure. First of all, our measurement will be divided into 3 sections. You have the upper body section, you have the lower body section, and you have the arm section. Those are the 3 basic patterns that you have: the bodice, the skirt, and the sleeve. So that is what we're basing our measurements on today. So we'll move straight to the front length. For the bodies, we are starting with the bodies before we move to the skirt and the sleeve. So here you go and you determine the waist. Can you see it? Our waist is 16. Front length is 16. Turn your back. You measure the back also. You determine where the dent is in our back. There's a difference always from front and back. Back length here is 15. Your turn. We have the front width from armhole cross through to the other armhole. Here is 12. Turn your back. You do the same for the back. For the back is 13.5. Can you see from this armhole to this armhole? 13.5. You measure the neck. In case she wants a high neck, measure the neck. It stands on the collarbone. That's 16. You measure the shoulder from one shoulder to the other shoulder. Hers is 15. Can see it's going across 15. There's another part of the shoulder that you need to measure from this neck point down to this place. When we are drafting pattern, I will show you why. So here is 4.5, 4.5. Okay, let's turn it so that you see what's happening. You can see it's not moving up and down, it is straight at the back. Turn. It has to be straight at the back. You see it? And you see it's not tight. So we have it as 36.5. Next is bust point. From this shoulder point here, you take to the fullest part of our bust. This is 9.5. Then we have a bust point to her bust point. To another. 7.5. Can you see how it's placed? 7.5. From one bust point to the other. 7.5. Next is the under bust. You take this through a bust and go straight under the bust. 12.5. Then we measure the waist. You can see where her waist is denting here. Let them see this one. You see this part of her waist? You can tell your client to tilt a little so you see the bent part. That's where the waist is. So you can see it's 31. The waist is always above the navel. It's above the navel. So you see it is 31. Then there's what we call depth of side. Many people guess on how to measure armhole, arm depth, sleeve. It works for a lot of people in different ways. But for me and for King Xander's Fashion Academy, this is how we teach. You see from this part of the neck to this part that our armhole is going. If you see, you can see where our armhole ends. You draw an imaginary line with your eyes and you take your measurement from that point to this point. For her, you can see it is 8. You see it? That is like when you put a barrel here in the armpit, you draw an imaginary line. You see it's straight. That's 8. So we are done for the bodies. And now we'll go straight to the skirts. The skirt starts from where the bodies stop. That's on our waistline. The waistline that is above the navel. So you take it to any point or level of the skirts. So for the purpose of this class, I will stopping at the knee length. That's 23. A knee is 23. Right from the waist is 23. Then we have what we call hip depth. From here to where our hip is. It varies from people to people. So you don't have the same for everybody. So from here to this point, we'll measure it. This is where our waist is and our hip point is here. So we have 8. So from here to here is 8. Next is our hip. You can see 39.5. 39.5. That is that for the skirt, and we'll move straight to the sleeve. So from the shoulder bone, you notice there's a dent here, there's a bone here, so that's the shoulder bone. That's where your shoulder is supposed to end and the sleeve begins. So you measure through till any points. So we'll be taking 21 for the sleeve length. We'll also be measuring the elbow length. Our elbow is 11 from the shoulder points. The sleeve crown is the distance between the shoulder and where the armhole is going to curve when you are drafting a pattern. So you can also measure that. For her is 4. Some people calculate theirs and it works for them. But in King Xander's Fashion Academy, we measure it. So this is it. 4 and it works. Then the round arm. The fullest part of the arm is where you measure. Hers is 12. Please don't make it tight and don't make it loose. Even if you are going to sew a big sleeve, there's an amount of ease that you add to it. But for the sake of pattern drafting, please make it the accurate size. So for this is 12. You also measure the round elbow, but when you are measuring the elbow, let your client stand akimbo. So that even if you make a straight long sleeve, they can be able to bend their hand to do anything. So you measure at this point. This is also 12. Then you measure the wrist. If it's not going to have elastic, please don't measure the wrist tight. I will advise that you measure the hand with the person folding their hands inside like this. So fold your hands inside very tight. Because if you don't do that, the sleeve will not enter. So you measure round, and at that we have 9.5. So guys, that is a very simple, easy step to body measurements. Body measurement is very, very important. Please don't take your body measurements in a hurry. Don't take your measurements when somebody is wearing jacket upon jacket. It will alter what your garment will look like. Let your client be as simple as possible. Nothing in pockets. Nothing in pockets, so that you can get a fitting garment. I wish you all success from King Xander's Fashion Academy.